live for an update. Laranzu, afternoon to you. So, NUM, or the NUM, has had a lot of fighting talk over the past few days. What else have they said today?
Well, NUM is quite certain that they're going to get their members to down tools, Thembekile, saying that if government does not reconsider its stance with regards to renewable energy, they're of the view that they are, in an effort to save jobs, in an effort to save communities, especially in the Mpumalanga area, they're going to down tools and possibly bring a nationwide power blackout. Let's listen to what the president of the union said to me today.
Not going to give on. If the government is not going to listen to us, comrades, you must be prepared for next year, February general strike. That strike will stretch. That strike will stretch until the government will come to its senses. We are not going to give in with our power stations, our coal industry, and our Eskom. We are going to fight it to the last man standing.
How big was this march on the union buildings? Because I understand some of the other unions came out to support the NUM.
Well, Thembekile, considering it was a Saturday today, and we know that Eskom workers are prohibited from striking during the week, they've decided to make this today, their day of strike action, which is something very unheard of, as you can imagine. But it was quite a big turnout. They said they were expecting about 8,000, but I was able to see maybe hundreds, over 500, I would say, of workers that made their way to the union buildings. But what was quite interesting was the show of unity of not just NUM, but also of SAFTU and also of COSATU. I mean, the president of COSATU, Zungisa Losi, also was there and lended her a message telling workers that through unity they're able to really make progress in terms of what they're looking for, talking about how there was on the table a 0% increase for Eskom workers, and subsequently that was changed. But more than anything, she was quite clear, Thembekile, telling us that the introduction of IPPs is obviously an onslaught and a fight against the working class.
I'll tell you who wasn't there to be impressed by the numbers today. Minister Jeff Radebe was not there to receive this memorandum, and no one, in fact, from the government came out to receive these marches.
And I will tell you this much, the people, the many men and women that were at the union buildings were very much disheartened by that. We understand that it was two officials. We're not sure what ranking they are, but they did come out and they were sent packing back to the union buildings with the president of NUM saying that they did not vote these guys into power, but they did vote the ministers into power, and they expect the minister to come and get the grievances that were written down in black and white. So they did not hand over the memorandum to anyone, let alone the Minister of Energy, Jeff Radebe, who wasn't there. In fact, they said it was quite a concerning sort of message that was sent. Essentially, they were saying that the minister seems not to care about the plight of the hundreds of thousands of people that will have their livelihoods really thrashed because of this move to get into this renewable energy mix.
The choice of Saturday as a protest day, quite odd in the South African context. How does the NUM and indeed the other unions see this becoming effective if what they want to do is put pressure on the energy department, government as a whole, and Eskom to change their minds on the IPPs, which, as we know at this stage, will go ahead?
Well, they're not only just trying to put pressure at Thembekile, but they're trying to say government really needs to do a U-turn, saying that, fine, there has been those 27 IPPs that have been signed, but they're of the view that nothing could really come out if they do not actually go ahead, because they're saying that if they put on the brakes now, lots of jobs are going to be saved. But more worryingly, they're saying that if those coal-powered stations are closed down, it is really a ticking time bomb, especially in the Mpumalanga area. So they're hoping that with this show of force, the show of unity, we know that COSATU and NUMSA are sitting on different spectrums of the field, but they were seen together with Irvin Jim, Zolinzima Mvavi, as well as Zungisa Losi, sharing a stage today, something that you don't really see often. But they were there saying that we hear your needs, we hear your concerns, but more than anything, we're going to try and do our best to try and secure those jobs and save the jobs that are likely to be lost because of this introduction.
A lot of unity, but is there a sense that the unions have a clear plan beyond the marches? Because it's one thing to march, but again, it comes back to how effective this is going to be if it doesn't bear results. Today, there was no minister or high-level person to receive them, so they need clearly to come up with something more forceful to get government's attention.
And that's the very question that I asked the NUM office bearers, saying that we've seen this before. They were in Parliament not so long ago asking for the same very thing and nothing happened. What is going to come out of these kind of demonstrations? Is it just another, effort for learners to be under the scorching heat of Pretoria and only for them to be disappointed when they get to the top? But essentially what they're saying is that they are really tired of just talking, really tired of handing over memorandums. They're saying, giving essentially government a couple of months to sort their house in order, and with that saying come January or February they are going to have us tools down where, more worryingly, Tembekile, as you can imagine, the viewers at home can imagine, if all those people that are working in those coal-powered stations do decide not to go to work instead of going to the streets, this could spell out blackout for the country. So they're saying that if Jeff Radebe does not come to the party, if he does not negotiate and doesn't, what they term, trying to privatize Eskom using the back doors, they're going to take to the streets.
ENCA reporter Laranza Temba, thank you.